Gunmen kill over 30 people in fresh attack on Benue community. Hunger protest organizers plan 1 million man protest in 36 states and the FCT on August 10. Naira scarcity looms as Lagosians groan over limited access. Away from Nigeria, Congolese court sentences rebel leader 25 others to death. Hello and welcome to the News Hour on Trust Television. I am Aisha Salihu. At least 30 people have been reportedly killed on Thursday night by unknown gunmen in Ayati community of Osun local government area of Benue State. A youth leader in the area confirmed the incident. According to the youth leader, the militias invaded the community on Thursday about 5 p.m. while residents were returning from their farms and other activities. In a post on his Facebook page, an Osun community leader, Abraham Waro, lamented the attacks on Ayati. This is the second attack on Ayati village within 1 month. 6 persons were killed in an earlier attack, leading to last month's violent protests in Zaki Biam. Meanwhile, the police public relations officer, Superintendent of Police, Suwese Anine, confirmed the attack but could not tell the casualty figure on account of sketchy details from the scene of attack by the police response team. In the meantime, Governor Hyacinth Alia has expressed sadness over the news of the attack. Earlier in a press statement by his chief press secretary, Teso Kula, on Friday, described the incident as an unprovoked attack. Still on security matters, bandits have reportedly attacked Gefe village in Kala ward of Kufana chiefdom, Kajuru local government area, killing the village head and 1 other person. The bandits were also said to have abducted a number of villagers, including women and children, when they stormed the community around 12 a.m. on Thursday. Marcus Danja, a community leader and relative of one of the victims, confirmed the incident on Friday. He explained that the 2 victims were shot. The community leader said that they are still trying to compile the number of people kidnapped or missing. The state government and the police public relations officer, ASP Mansour Hassan, are yet to issue statements on the incident. The Take It Back movement, one of the key organizers of the End Bad Governance nationwide protest, has scheduled Saturday for a 1 million man protest in all 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. National coordinator of the movement, Sanyaolu Juwon, stated this in a statement on Thursday in Abuja. He said the Take It Back movement, side by side with other organizers and organizations, will on August 10 lead a monumental 1 million man protest in each of the 36 states of Nigeria and the Federal Capital Territory. According to him, this event will mark a critical juncture in the nationwide End Bad Governance in Nigeria campaign, which began on August 1, 2024. The protest, which aimed at drawing the attention of the government at all levels to the hardship bedeviling the citizens, commenced on August 1 and is expected to end on Saturday, August 10. Although the protest was hijacked by criminal elements, the exercise recorded large turnout across the country, especially in the northern states. Meanwhile, Amnesty International has described the recent crackdown on protesters against hunger in the country as disturbing indication of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government's disregards for human rights. In a series of tweets on X on Friday, the global human rights group lamented the crackdown on protesters, saying it would create an unhealthy climate of fear that might endanger activists, human rights defenders, civil society organizations, and journalists. It further expressed deep concern over unlawful invasion of the Ikeja, Lagos office of the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights. The group had on Thursday condemned a raid on head office of the Nigeria Labour Congress in Abuja on Wednesday night. In Lagos and cities across Nigeria, thousands have taken to the streets in a poignant demonstration that blends protest with mourning. The focus of the march is on honoring those who have tragically lost their lives, particularly in the northern regions, reportedly at the hands of the police and other security agencies. The protesters say they are united in their demand for justice, calling for the immediate dismissal of the Inspector General of Police, whom they hold responsible for the crackdowns. They are also demanding the unconditional release of all individuals detained over the past 9 days, including Comrade Adaramoye Michael Lenny, the national coordinator of the Youth Right Campaign, who was reportedly abducted from his home on Sunday morning.
Do we say? What do we say? This struggle is not about tribes. This struggle is not about religion. This struggle is for all of us who are united by a common condition of hunger and hardship. And the struggle is not taking place in Lagos alone. It is taking place across the entire country. We've gathered here in honor of our fallen comrades, the martyrs of the struggle, who have felled through the bullets of the agents of the Nigerian states. As earlier said, we hold the President Bola Tinubu-led administration responsible for these killings. We know for sure that had he not carried out these anti-poor economic policies, we would not have hit the streets. And as we have always said, the right to protest is an inalienable democratic right that we are not ready to surrender.
Bauchi State Governor Balam Mohammed has pledged to inform the federal government about the severe damage caused by heavy flooding that has cut off a section of the Kano-Maiduguri highway. A heavy downpour completely washed out a section of the Kano-Maiduguri expressway between Malori and Guskuri villages in Katagum local government area, Bauchi State. The damage has rendered the road inaccessible, forcing motorists to seek alternative routes. Governor Balam Mohammed, who visited the affected area to assess the situation and explore ways to ease the burden on road users, emphasized the road's significance as a crucial link between the northwest and northeast region of Nigeria. Mohammed called on the federal government for urgent repairs to the damaged section to prevent accidents and alleviate other hardships. He also declared that his administration would explore measures to maintain certain federal roads in the state, especially as the rainy season continues to make them hazardous. The governor further mentioned that his administration would immediately dispatch a team of state.
This is a major highway, the Northeast Highway, that has been washed away completely, the two dual roads. So we are calling on the federal government to come to our aid. We are going to take this responsibility, inshallah, to convey this development to Abuja through the controller of works. If they give us permission and they are unable to do it, definitely we will swing to action and make sure that we carry remedial measures or permanent measures as we did during the last rainy season.
Despite the persistent increase in the prices of commodities, especially food items, Nigerians are still struggling with restrictions on cash withdrawals imposed by banks. Customers say they are finding it difficult to withdraw cash, with some banks still limiting withdrawals to as low as 20,000 naira. Victoria Tokolo, who spoke to residents of Lagos State on the cash withdrawal issue, has more in this report. Her report as presented.
According to residents, difficulty in withdrawing amounts above 20,000 naira have made many Nigerians to hold on to their cash rather than deposit in the bank. The CBN has set a minimum cash withdrawals limit of 500,000 naira per week. but some banks are not adhering to this directive. Instead, they restrict customers to withdrawal of 50,000 naira or sometimes 20,000 naira, leaving many frustrated. As a result, many Nigerians have turned to digital payments due to the cash shortage.
Someone will have maybe amount of 20 million in your account, running business, and you came to bank to withdraw money, maybe expecting to withdraw about 500,000 naira. Thereby bank telling you to withdraw say maximum amount that you can withdraw in the bank is 20,000. It's very weird, so bad. So if we continue like this, I don't know where the country is ready to. I'm painful, because you're doing a business of 500,000 upward or 200,000 upward. Oh, how will you feel? Withdrawing 20,000 naira. I think this is every day, just 24 hours, I think. So it's not benefiting anyone. It's not convenient at all. It's not paying. We are just living in pain. We are living in like endurance. We are just enduring in pain, smiling in pain.
That's an amount of 20,000 to withdraw for certifying their children in a day from bank. It cannot work. So I assume that they must put more effort or put more into it so that it is sufficient for them to avoid to feed their children.
That 20,000 naira that bank gives is very small. We should let's appeal to the government. They should please anything that they can do about it. At least they should increase it. It's our money, and we cannot keep the money inside the house. We will keep it in the bank. If you want to use it, go and take it. That should help us to increase it. At least we will take our money to do what we want to use to do. Because that money, the bank issue is too small.
Nigerians are calling for improved services from banks as well as alternative payment methods to ease their financial transactions.
The Kano State government has filed a fresh fraud charge against the immediate past governor of the state, Abdullahi Ganduje, his commissioner for local government, Murtala Garo, and 2 others. According to the charge sheet, Garo, Lamin Sani, and Muhammad Takai were charged with criminal conspiracy, criminal breach of trust, making false statements or return, and criminal misappropriation. The state accused them of mismanaging the 44 local government statutory allocations remitted to the state joint local government's account from the federation account. They were also accused of criminally diverting 57.4 billion naira through several personal accounts of local government's cashiers and other personal and corporate accounts. The state government also accused them of transferring the funds into dollars for their personal benefits. In the charge sheet, the state said it will call 143 witnesses. No date has been fixed for the matter. And in Kaduna State, the Federal High Court, sitting in Kaduna, presided over by Justice R.M. Aikawa, has declined jurisdiction in the suit filed by former Governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, seeking to set aside the ad hoc committee report of the Kaduna State House of Assembly, among other declaratory reliefs. In 2 separate rulings before delivering the judgment, Justice Aikawa held that the applicant failed to prove any of the circumstances that would necessitate setting aside the court's trial as sought by the applicant. The court also struck out the application for the judge to recuse himself, citing the applicant's failure to provide convincing reasons or facts for the court to do so, as determined by a plethora of decided cases. The court declined jurisdiction rather than dismissing or striking out the suit, as prayed for by both counsels to the respondents. Additionally, the court exercised its powers under Section 22, subsection 2 of the Federal High Court Act and transferred the suit to the Kaduna State Chief Judge for determination by the High Court of Kaduna State. Administrators and stakeholders in Kaduna say political will on the part of government is a panacea to improving primary education in Nigeria. Trustee Bella Musa has more.
Primary education, which is the basic foundation of learning, has not been given required attention, especially in northern Nigeria. Stakeholders are calling on government to invest more in this category of education.
But for us, what worries us and what concerns us is if indeed this political will can be sustained. Also, for primary education and all other aspects of government services to be driven by the data that is on the ground as opposed to what is just written on a piece of paper. There's hard on-ground data that is required to make informed decisions in any governmental activity.
And when we talk of the synergy, we have different organizations like the local government and the suburb. If they don't have synergy, you will not achieve what you want. And when we say continuation of a project, is when you come and see that the previous administration have started a project which is very good to the community, don't abandon it. Carry it on and continue because it's a community project.
They said poor welfare of teachers in the private school is also undermining the system.
Some of the private school, they underpay their staff. I know a school whereby they pay their teachers 6,000 naira.
The state alone cannot provide education to the teeming population of our children at all levels. So I emphasized on that, and I emphasized that there should be synergy between the state actors and the non-state actors, and private schools should conform with the provision of by the states.
The participation of the underage children in the hunger protest raised concerns among many Nigerians on the need for more children to be taken out of the street. Bella Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
The Independent Electoral Commission of Osun State has urged political party members and other key stakeholders to exhibit a strong sense of discipline, patriotism, and dedication towards the upcoming local government elections scheduled for November 16th this year. During the stakeholders' engagement on the 2024 local government elections held at the Cultural Center in Abeokuta, the Commission's chairman, Babatunde Osibodu, emphasized the importance of upholding these values for a successful electoral process. Trust TV's Abbas Dalibi's report is presented from our studio.
To ensure greater women participation in elections, the Commission has reduced administrative charges for political parties that nominate female candidates for chairmanship and councillorship positions. The recent stakeholders' engagement marked the inaugural meeting regarding the upcoming local government elections scheduled for November 16th across all 20 local government areas within the state. The primary objective of this gathering, as stated by the Commission, is to officially introduce and discuss the guidelines for the pivotal election process that will ultimately elect representatives at the grassroots level. As a result of the importance attached to the election, members of political parties, traditional rulers, security operatives, and members of the human rights community were all as well represented, as the Commission promised free, fair, and credible elections.
I appeal to the political class and aspirants to take the guidelines and stipulations seriously, not only during the campaigns, but throughout the entire election period, demonstrating patriotism, discipline, and commitment to the electoral process and democracy in our state and Nigeria is crucial.
The onus is on you to convince us, to convince the political party. And it's not going to be about this talk shop that we are holding here. There should be more stakeholder meetings with the political party, that they come and you convince us that it's going to be truly a free and fair election on one hand.
To enhance women's involvement in elections, the Electoral Commission has declared a decrease in administrative fees for women who wish to participate.
I hereby formally release the guidelines and essential documents for the 2024 local government council election scheduled for November 16, 2024.
The exercise is slated to begin with the release of the election timetable. It is crucial that political parties and the members approach this process with a high level of responsibility, refraining from any form of violence.
To more stories. Residents of Bauchi are lamenting the sudden reappearance of fuel queues in some filling stations within the state capital. They say the only solution to immediate problems of Nigeria is for government to make petroleum product available. In a chat with Trust TV, residents of Bauchi said fuel subsidy is a scam and call on government to ensure transparency in the oil and gas sector. They believe the artificial fuel scarcity regularly is already making life difficult and situation unbearable. They added that Nigerians are fed up with empty promises by their leaders at all levels, especially on something that has direct impact on the general public.
No right-thinking person will allow his truck to move around because of the situation in the country. Because you are not sure. If you allow your truck to move around, you are not sure what will happen to your truck. So that may even affect the supply chain. But actually, there are fuel in most of the filling stations because of the situation. That's why they are afraid to open the filling station and sell.
My appeal to the federal government that they say that they give palliative, they give anything, they give subsidy. But all this thing it depends on the petrol or on the fuel increment. Because if they reduce it, if they bring it back to the normal station, the normal position, then everything will go smoothly, inshallah ta'ala.
Machia serves as a meeting place where peer groups come together to share a meal and discuss issues of the day. This long-standing tradition is commonly practiced among the northern Hausa Fulani community, fostering strong relationships and mutual support. It provides an opportunity for individuals to enjoy a meal even when they are unable to cook at home, serving as a means to alleviate hardships and hunger at the grassroots level. Trustee Hassan Kohli recently visited one of these gathering spots in Gombe and prepared the following report.
For more than 7 decades, this place had been served as machia among the neighborhood of Herwagana Gombe. People, mostly elderly, are gathering on a daily basis to take breakfast and reconvene in the evening for dinner. For Babayo Modo, a 55-year-old community leader, machia tradition has been one of the most significant ancient cultures among the Muslim community. This tradition is indeed among the Muslim virtues of peace and tolerance, which later became part of Hausa Fulani culture to emulate Prophet Muhammad's lifestyle. The most significant part of this tradition is that you help people to eat food. Whenever you come out to machia with your food, you will eat together with your neighbors, which helps bond a good relationship. Besides, some strangers are also invited to eat together with the needy, whom they could not afford to cook anything at home. It is a beauty of the traditions. Machia is indeed a good tradition. We grew up seeing our parents practicing it here in Herwagana, and we continue with their legacy of eating together with our neighbors in the same place they used to. Our cycle has 8 to 10 people, and we are on daily basis gathered here for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We always ensure we look over or at times wait for everyone to show up before we eat, which showed that we love and cherish each other. And even with that, the goal of tradition of spreading love among neighbors and strangers is achieved. For many elderly people like Bafova Buga, a 72-year-old resident, avoiding such traditions among people will for sure be responsible for the deteriorated relationships among neighbors and worsening hunger among communities. When people ignore this tradition, it means they are ungenerous to others, which is bad. I could remember when there were a lot of machia here. One could just sit when others came with their food. He will eat and go. People there were not concerned whether he came with food or not. But nowadays, everyone is eating at home and alone, which makes it difficult for needy to eat. This is indeed worrisome and worsening hunger among us. It is among the most important tradition ignored by many, I am afraid. Sagir, a 61-year-old Gombe resident, is concerned that globalization has made the youth see Machia as irrelevant to the modern world, warning that avoiding such good traditions may continue to inflict serious setbacks on peace and tolerance.
Zai wuya a bayan mu mace nan ta dore saboda yanayi na rayuwa. Yaran ba su da tausayin yan uwansu.
It is worrisome that our youths have no interest in practicing Machia tradition like we did. This is purely ungenerous, and I believe our children will never embrace this tradition as they have no love and care for each other. But for us, we are even proud of it. One will never worry about how and where to eat or take his guests when he has nothing to cook at home. I could remember there is one stranger who still calls us during lunch or dinner and jokingly asks for it via chat. And this is as a result of our sharing food here in Machia when he was at Gombe. So it helped us love each other and establish good relationships with strangers too. In many urban communities, the Machia tradition will rarely be practiced even among elderly people, an indication that the tradition is nearly gone to extinction. From Gombe, Hassan Koli reporting for Trust TV.
The prices of foodstuff, particularly perishable food items like tomatoes and pepper, have seen a significant decline in the Nigerian markets. Victoria Tokolo, in a recent market survey in Yaga State, reports that the price of tomatoes has dropped to 30,000 naira per basket, while a basket of pepper now sells for 45,000 naira. The report as presented from our studio.
A visit to Agege and other markets around the local government area shows that the prices of tomatoes and pepper dropped significantly from about 150,000 naira to 130,000 naira per basket about 3 weeks ago to 45,000 naira and 30,000 naira per bag respectively. This represents a significant price reduction of over 50%. The prices decline is attributed to the perishable nature of the goods.
Everything don't cost now. This na small one, na Yoruba one. This one na Cameroon tomatoes. How much it cost? Na tomato basket is small. Pepper bag 70,000. Small bag no be big one. Everything don't cost.
Big pepper now is 70, 80. Sometimes she sell it 70,000, but today now is 80,000. Small one 45, 50.
It has come down now. Basket now is 30,000. Before it's 70, 80. Now it's 30,000. Tomatoes. Pepper bag now is 25,000 now. Before we are selling it 60, 70, 80. Now it's 30,000.
So we thank God that it's really coming down. It's not down. It's really coming down than before. It's even more better than before.
Traders caution that the current price reduction is only a temporary reprieve. They further emphasize the need for the government to address the underlying factors driving food inflation in order to ensure sustainable food security in the country.
And to a sad development, a Lieutenant Commander Gideon Yashim Gwaza, attached to the Nigerian Navy Forward Operating Base in Bonny Island, Rivers State, has died while trying to rescue about 59 crew on board a sinking ship. Though the 59 crew on board the ill-fated dredger were rescued, the naval officer who led his team on the search and rescue operation died in the process. It was gathered that the ill-fated vessel was suddenly hit by a heavy tidal wave while the crew were working at Okwobo oil field on July 30, 2024. A statement issued by the Director of Information of the Nigerian Navy, Commodore Adams Aliyu, confirming the death of the officer, stated that as at the time of the incident, MV Ambika 4, a dredging vessel working at Okwobo field, contracted to Sterling Global Oil Limited, Commodore Adams Aliyu stated that it was reported that the vessel was at risk of sinking near the Okpogbo River entrance, an area known to be turbulent. The Jigawa state government says it is reinvigorating its status as a premier hub for internet services. Governor Umar Namadi disclosed this during his visit to the newly upgraded Galaxy office in Dutse, where cutting-edge internet infrastructure has been installed. The report.
Governor Namadi's visit marks a significant step toward revitalizing Jigawa State's reputation in digital connectivity. The Galaxy facility, now operational, is already providing internet services and working to expand its reach, promising increased revenue for the state government.
Today I'm here at Galaxy ITT. This is also a company that has been abandoned, is not doing anything. The structure has been dilapidated for quite some time, and now you can see what it is today. Really impressed that now they are able to create a new department, software development department, networking department, and then they are able to reach out so many people to provide internet services. And what we have seen here, then the future is bright here.
We met this place, it was dilapidated, and we have restored our services, and we remodeled these buildings, and also with some other buildings. And hopefully in some days to come or years to come, we will be among the competitors, not only in Nigeria, in Africa.
In addition to his visit to the Galaxy office, Governor Namadi also toured the state's printing press. He praised the management for their commendable performance, highlighting the potential for these initiatives to significantly enhance the state's revenue base if they continue to thrive.
Adamawa State Government is set to reopen former Adamawa homes and savings closed down by the Central Bank of Nigeria as a result of its failure to meet up with the mortgage bank capital base policy of the country's apex bank. Governor Fint disclosed this while inspecting the complex building and revealed that it has been renamed to Adamawa Mortgage Bank to strengthen the operations of the institution. Gibson Soadigo reports from Yola.
In the company of the members of his executive council, Adamawa State Governor Ahmed Umar Fint visited Adamawa Homes and Savings to inspect the ongoing first lift at the complex. In his remarks after inspecting the structure of the bank, Governor Fint stated that the state government has taken the step to revive the bank to continue to render services and meet the needs of the people. Governor Fint said the bank was closed down as a result of its inability to meet with Mortgage Bank's capital base of the central bank. However, the state-owned financial institution has met the recapitalization requirements set by the CBN.
I've come to support them and to ensure that they bring the services back fully to take care of our people's interests, and for me to reassure all our customers that nobody has lost anything. It was just an administrative challenges that the mortgage bank has to go through with the Central Bank of Nigeria. But when they come into operation, no customer lost anything.
The general manager of the bank, Norris Stanley, noted that reviving the bank is in line with the vision of the Fint administration. According to the general manager, the capital base of the bank stands at 2.54 billion naira, meeting the requirements of the Central Bank of Nigeria with a total asset base of 4.6 billion naira.
Whatever we were doing in Adamawa Homes and Savings, we are going to be doing same and even more, because the capital base has now empowered us to go beyond the realms of what the limitations we suffered in Adamawa when we were in Adamawa Homes and Savings. Now customers can come in, access our facilities like overdraft, term loans.
Adamawa Homes and Savings is among the 4 primary mortgage banks whose license were revoked by the CBN for failure to meet the regulatory requirements. Gibson Soadugo, Trust TV News, Yola.
President Bola Tinubu has been asked to convene a National Constituent Assembly that would produce a new draft constitution. The advice was passed on to the president by a delegation led by former Secretary General Emeka Anyauko. The delegation, also known as the Patriots, is also recommending for the National Assembly to legislate for a national referendum that would endorse the new constitution. Kehinde Amodu reports.
National Constituent Assembly, National Conference, Constitutional Conference are different names these arrangements have been labeled with over the years. The arrangements have piled up recommendations which have not been legislated upon. Again, a group is flying the kite of a constitutional framing body which consists of individuals elected by people on non-party basis.
In the countries that have written constitution, they have generally gone through the process of a national referendum. Because it is a national referendum, the view of the citizens of the country that confer legitimacy to a written constitution.
The group's premise for selling the idea of a new constitution is hinged on the many contradictions arising from the pluralistic nature of the country.
What we have now does not make for effective internal security measures. It does not make for rapid economic development. It does not make for satisfactory social development, say in education and health and so on. And I believe that the new constitution would make it easier for these challenges to be tackled.
President Tinubu acknowledges the need for reform, but says it may have to wait until he is done with the reform of the economy.
Yes, I'm from the school that will advocate for unity of this country. And I believe in it. I definitely want to assure you that whatever is necessary, I'll put happiness and good governance in the heart of all Nigerians. This is what I will do.
The current crisis of protests throughout the country may have given rise to some of these concerns, and the patriots are advising government at federal and state levels to dialogue with the leaders of the demonstrations. From State House, Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
And to the Green Chambers of the National Assembly, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, has named a 7-member panel that will be part of the joint committee that will probe alleged economic sabotage in the petroleum and gas industry. The development followed the recent dissolution of the ad hoc committee earlier set up by the House over alleged infractions in the petroleum and gas industry. A statement by the House spokesperson Akin Rotimi on Friday said those appointed include the House leader Julius Ihombere, who is to serve as the co-chairman of the committee. Other members of the committee include Iduma Ighariwe, Boyega Isiaka, Sada Soli, Fatima Talba, Tunji Rahim, and Patrick Umo. This new structure aims to ensure synergy, a holistic approach to addressing the issues, and ease of administrative coordination, resulting in a harmonized and efficient investigation. Welcome back and thanks for staying. It's time now to join Yusuf Akogu for the business news.
Welcome to Business News. I am Yusuf Akogu. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria has asked the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to resolve the unsettled $2.4 billion forex forward claims by manufacturers in the country. The Director General of MAN, Segun Ajayi Kadri, in a statement on Thursday in Lagos, said addressing outstanding foreign exchange obligations will reduce their impact on the manufacturing sector. He explained that the Apex Bank attributed its inability to honor the contract to an ongoing investigation by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission into certain foreign exchange transactions. The Man Director General noted that many businesses had borrowed money from banks as working capital to open clean lines of credit based on forward contract allocated by the CBN. The Central Bank of Nigeria has lowered its top rate for one-year treasury bills to 21.89% from 22.1% in the previous auction. This reduction of 0.95% was noticed during the auction on August 7. Analysis of the auction revealed that despite the rate drop, investors' interest surged, with total subscription reaching 486.87 billion naira across the three tenors, up 30.17% from the previous auctions of 373.95 billion naira. This increase indicates a robust investors' appetite for Nigeria Treasury bills, especially the 182-day and 364-day bills. NGX closed the week in green as investors renewed interest in equities after weeks of bearish run. Leading the gainers there is Julius Berger Nigeria PLC, up there 10% to close at 110 naira per share. Entana also up as well, 10% it gained to close at 19 naira and 80 kobo per share. Of course, UCAP also up as well, 10% to close at 15 naira and 95 kobo per share. Of course, this has pushed up the market up by 0.48% in terms of volume of trade. 477.433 million shares were traded, valued at 8.168 billion naira in a list of 9,529 lead exchanges among investors. Of course, the top trading equities in terms of volume leading that table is Veritas Capital, up at the 103.24 million shares traded. Oando PLC 52.39 million shares traded. Of course, UBA 42.75 million shares. It also traded there. Some equities ended on the losing side of the market. Leading that table is Union Daikon. Union Daikon down 9.88% to close at 7 naira and 30 kobo per share. Of course, UPL down as well, 8.79% to close at 2 naira and 18 kobo per share. Of course, an insurance company Custodian down 8.59% to close at 11 naira and 70 kobo per share there. And that's the highlight of stock trading as it went down this Friday on the floor of NGS. Let's see the global stock market and exchange rate data for today. Oil price surged higher on Friday and were on course for a weekly gains of more than 3% as US job data eased demand concern, while fears of a widening Middle East conflict continue to raise supply concerns. At the London market, Brent crude sells for $79 per barrel. For the open basket, price moves up to $77 per barrel. And that's business. I am Yusuf Akogu.
Yusuf Akogu there with the business news. Thank you so much. The chiefs of defense staff in West Africa on Friday appealed to the three helmsmen directing the affairs of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso to return to the regional bloc. The regional defense chiefs said the appeal for their return became imperative in order to defeat the security challenges ravaging the region, especially insurgency. Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, who is the chairman of the ECOWAS Committee of Chiefs of Defense Staff, stated this when he led his colleagues to pay a visit to the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu. Speaking during the visit, Musa said all hands must be on deck to curtail insecurity in West Africa sub-region, adding that efforts are ongoing on their part to ensure the three countries return to their fold.
Of our brothers and sisters from West African countries, the chiefs of defense staff, We've been holding meetings since about 2 days now. Today is the third day to deliberate on the security situation within our sub-region. I think the idea is to see how we can enhance security working together, because the challenges we're facing is no one country or one nation that can tackle it alone. So we need to work together as a team, and that's the importance. That's why we're here. After the meeting, we came to see Mr. President, who is also the chairman ECOWAS, to inform him on our deliberations and to get his blessing. To also appreciate him for making it possible for us to be here to sit and deliberate. And so you can see we're all from West Africa, and our deliberations have been fruitful.
Away from Nigeria, a military court in the Democratic Republic of the Congo has sentenced 26 people accused of involvement in armed groups, including the M23, to death after a high-profile trial that started late last month. The leader of the alliance, Fleuve Congo, Kano State, was found guilty of war crimes, participation in an insurrection, and treason. Nanga and 20 other defendants were sentenced to death in absentia on Thursday, as they are currently on the run. The president of the court said the 5 accused who were present for the trial have 5 days to appeal the sentence. The prosecutor in the trial, which began on July 24, had called for death sentences against 25 of the defendants and a 20-year jail term for one defendant. Let's join Emmanuel Fashemi for the latest in sports.
World record holder and Nigeria's #1 hurdler Tobi Amusan has failed to reach the finals of the women's 100 meters hurdles event at the ongoing Paris 2024 Olympic Games on Friday. The 27-year-old Ogun State born, who fired out in lane 6, finished third position with a time of 12.55 seconds in heat 1 of the 100 meters hurdles event. However, Amusan's chance was marred by subsequent qualification of Jamaica's Akera Nugent, who finished at 12.44 seconds, and France's Serena Samba Mayela 12.52 seconds in heat 3. On Wednesday, Amusan led the pack of 8 athletes with 12.49 seconds, followed by America's Alicia Johnson with 12.61 seconds and Jamaica's Janek Brown with 12.84 seconds. Despite being one of the favorites for Team Nigeria to win a gold medal at the Olympics, her recent performance is another in a series of Nigeria's disappointing outings at this year's Games. Her time of 12.55 seconds left her 9th place, just one spot outside the top 8 who made it into Saturday's final. The qualified athletes for the women's 100 meters hurdles finals include Grace Stark, USA, Davin Charlton, Bahamas, Alsha Johnson, USA, Nadine Visa, Netherlands, Jasmine Camacho Quinn, Puerto Rico, Masai Russell, USA, Akera Nugent, Jamaica, and Serena Samba Mayela, France. Meanwhile, the quartet of Emmanuel Ojeli, Ezekiel Nathaniel, Dubem Amene, and Chidi Okezie were disqualified from the men's 4x4 meters relay race at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games on Friday. The men's team had finished second in their semi-final heat with a season best of 2.59 seconds, 0.81. However, the referee disqualified Team Nigeria when one of them impeded a South African athlete following a changeover. Consequently, the South African men's team took the spot to the final. Botswana, the bronze medalist at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, finished first in their heat and overall with a time of 2.57 seconds. They will be joined by Great Britain, the United States, Japan, France, Belgium, Zambia, Italy, and South Africa. And that is sports. I am Emmanuel Fashimi.
Vero, then, you're up to speed with some of the latest imagined and reimagined stories in Nigeria and beyond. And with that, we've come to the end of the news hour tonight on Trust Television. Do not forget, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.